Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Marisa Kazem and today I'm going to be updating my reading journal. So the last time I updated my reading journal was 26 books ago. I don't know why, I've just been so busy, and I normally like to fill out my journal as soon as I'm done reading a book, or at least a few books. That way I can write down all of the spoiler stuff that I want to remember, but I don't know why. This time it's been 26 books and I haven't written in my reading journal at all, and so I thought I would just film the whole thing and you guys can see how I do it. If you want to see the beginning pages in my reading journal, I will link below the video where I showed how I did that. I've only had one other reading journal video on my channel, so there's only one to watch, but that one will show you how I set up the beginning of the journal and like different spreads and things like that. But otherwise, this is just my very basic section where I just write about different books. So what I'm doing right now is prepping a lot of the pages with this tea stained paper that I got from the Etsy shop called Cover to Cover Creations. I will link them down below. I love their tea stained paper. I've only had to buy one pack of 50 and it is lasting me so long, and I use a decent amount as well, so I definitely recommend it. But yeah, so I am just putting this on every single page, basically because the white paper is just boring to me. I don't know why, I just want to make it look more dimensional, and it's fun to just add a bit of paper. So that's what I'm doing for like a number of spreads, and then I'm going to finally get into all of the books. Also with this reading journal, my whole intentions with it is just to keep it simple. I know that right now gluing in extra paper seems like it's not that simple, but it goes by really quick, and then the rest of the time I'm literally just sticking in the book covers and writing my thoughts. I only use black pen, I don't bother with anything else, and I find that this method really works for me. I know that I just said I haven't filled anything out in the last 26 books, but that's not because the method that I'm using is too timely. It's simply because I've been that busy trying to do other things. So yeah, this is my method. I know some people may think this is too simple or too boring, and then I've had some people say that this just looks like a scrapbook. And you know what? Maybe it is a scrapbook. It's like a reading journal scrapbook where I only add tea stained paper. That's like literally the only scrapbooking part of this. But anyway, I like it, and I've seen a lot of you guys also liked my reading journal video, so I hope you like this one as well. Also, as a warning, if any of these books are on your TBR and you don't want any of them spoiled, do not pause the video and read what I have written down. In almost every single one of these, I reveal massive spoilers in these sections because this is just my personal journal, and I like to flip back to these pages and reread the spoilers, so don't read any of these if you want to avoid spoilers. However, if you do want to see my opinions on books without spoilers, I do have a Goodreads account, and that's where I just post like spoiler-free reviews, and I kind of let you know what you're getting into if you want to read those particular books. So that's where you can find spoiler-free stuff, but otherwise all of these are filled with spoilers. So in my spreads where I'm just writing about my books, I don't normally have any titles because they're just whatever I'm reading and I fill it in. However, I did a video like I think a month ago called 7 Romances in 7 Days, and it was my first real experience experimenting with the romance genre, and I did that challenge. I read 6.5 books, one of them I DNF'd, so I will link the video down below, but that's what this page is. I decided to put the books that I actually did finish on this spread, and I tried to do this weird like circle triangle thing with the heading, and I really liked it. Also with my journal, I don't like to do big boxes of writing for books that I give lower ratings, because when I look back at my journal, I want to be reminded of all the positive things that I loved about my favorite books. So if you ever see me with a 2 or a 3-star rating, I normally keep the section smaller, and this layout worked out great because For The Heart Principle and First Love Take Two, I had so much room and those were just amazing for me. Definitely my favorites of the romances that I read for this challenge. And yeah, I really liked this layout. It was very interesting. Oh, and here, so I wanted to write more about Verity. I had like a theory in my head and I completely forgot that I wanted to do that when I was making this spread about Verity. So I wrote what I wanted and then I remembered I wanted more. So I just added in some extra bullet journal paper and glued it in the side, and there we go. I have more room to write about it. I know that Colleen Hoover just released a newer version of Verity that has a bonus chapter, and I'm seeing tons of people going, are you team manuscript or team letter? And I haven't read the bonus chapter yet, and so now I'm wondering if it's going to change my theory, but I have to read it at some point whenever I can get my hands on it, and I'm really excited to see what's in that chapter. If you're enjoying this video so far, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I plan on doing a lot more book videos and still keeping up with my bullet journal. And I'd like to do more reading journal videos, but I don't really know what to do because this is literally it. I literally just stick in the covers and write about them. So let me know if this is too boring or if you guys want to see more of this stuff, because I could like film maybe me writing about like 5 books at a time and then talk about them while I'm doing it in the video, and maybe it will be more slowed down. So just let me know what you guys want. I'd love to just make videos that you guys want to see, so definitely let me know. Also, if you are interested in more book content, you can follow my Instagram at Reads by Marisa, and I just post different book pictures and I just talk about books basically. So yeah, follow me there if you're interested in more book stuff. Also, for all of these books that you're seeing 4 and 5 stars, I highly recommend, especially my 5-star books. I feel like I don't give 5 stars away too easily. Like, I literally have to fully enjoy every single aspect of a book to give it 5 stars. So if you see me giving something 5 stars, that means it blew me away and it was amazing, and I think everyone should read it. So definitely check those out if you're interested. And this month, actually, I also started listening to audiobooks, and it was so much fun. So as you can see by those different book covers, I just drew a little doodle of headphones just to let myself know that I did those with audiobooks. I mean, I don't really think I'd forget, but I thought I might as well make a note of the fact that it was an audiobook rather than a physical book, because I do think that definitely changes the experience of enjoying the book. For example, I had that with Frankenstein. The way Mary Shelley's writing is very old-fashioned English, and I didn't really feel like reading it, but listening to it, it just felt like someone was telling me a story, kind of in the way that Bridgerton is very old-fashioned in the TV show, like the language. So I just love that, and for me, the Frankenstein book was so good as an audiobook, it definitely made a difference. So I'd recommend reading Frankenstein as an audiobook if you're interested in the original story. Also, when you see me doing a full page spread for a book, that really means that it is better than 5 stars for me. Like, that would be a 6-star read, and that's what I did with the book The Candle and the Flame by Nafisa Azad. I love this book so much. It was the perfect Middle Eastern fantasy that I've been wanting. And if you want to see me freak out about it more, I will link my September wrap-up video, because I just raved about that book in that video because it was everything I've been wanting in a Middle Eastern fantasy. And also recently, I read Throne of Glass and A Court of Thorns and Roses, my first experience reading Sarah J. Maas, and I loved Throne of Glass. I think A Court of Thorns and Roses, I had just heard too much about it online and I had weird expectations, especially for a specific character, and it just kind of like bothered me as I was reading it, but I still gave it 4 stars because it was still a really good book. But Throne of Glass, I had no expectations. I just went in blind and it blew my mind. I absolutely loved it. Also, let me just tell you about one thing I did in this video that really bothered me. I couldn't remember the name of a character from the Throne of Glass book, and I borrowed it from the library, so I don't have the book on me. So I googled the character's title, like I guess their profession, right? I mean, it's not really a profession, but kind of like their profession. I googled that plus Throne of Glass, and it gave me a spoiler about a completely different character. And I am so mad because I hate spoilers so much, and like, I did not expect Google to spit that out at me. I literally just typed in Throne of Glass and the character's position so that I could know what their name was. And it literally gave me the name of someone else, and it was one sentence, and it spoiled a massive detail about a character. And now I'm really mad because that means that when I read the next few books, I'm gonna have an expectation, or I'm gonna be waiting for that detail to be spoiled now that I already know it. And I'm just really mad. Don't Google character names if you can avoid it, especially with a series, because things will get spoiled. Google is not trustworthy and they will not protect you from spoilers, and I was so mad. Anyway, let me know what you guys do in your reading journal. First of all, do you have a reading journal? And if you do, what kind of things do you put in there? I've seen so many people do different things, like different series trackers and things like that. I'm just very simple. I just kind of put in the book and then write about it. And I'm planning on doing this more regularly. I've just been busy lately. But yeah, let me know what your reading journal habits are. Do you keep one? Do you have a digital one? I know some people, I think, just use like a Word doc or something, so let me know. I'm really curious to see what you guys are up to with your reading journals. Anyway, so that is the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you are still here at the end of the video, please leave a ghost emoji down below so that I know that you're a real one. And yeah, comment down below anything you want about books. Tell me your favorite book, because why not? But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.